Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Elspeth from Ragged Life, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to use a two-string loom like this one here. It's a very basic rag rug technique which creates long garlands of fluffy rags, which I use as decorative garlands, particularly around Christmas. Think eco-friendly tinsel. I also use it to make rag rugs, as you can see in this image here. My perhaps favourite project of all is our iconic Ragged Life Christmas trees. So it's got a lot of uses. It's got a fluffy top to the garlands, and then it's got a flat base, which makes it perfect for making 3D items, which may be quite difficult if you were trying to shape hessian to make a project. I'm going to start off by just talking you through the tools that you need to do this technique. So clue is kind of in the name, but the first item that I'm going to talk you through is the two-string loom itself. It's a very basic wooden frame which allows you to suspend two strings between these two bits at the back here and the dowel at the front. The idea of the two-string loom is that you are creating these two strings and making them nice and taut and firm so that you can knot individual pieces of fabric onto the strings to create your garland. There are different versions of the two-string loom that exist. Some of them have little grooves at the top here, which is perhaps a little bit more elegant, but you may see versions that also have nails at the top. It doesn't matter how they look, as long as you can get two strings nice and close together, they're nice and firm and tight. So that's the loom itself. Clue's also in the name, but we also need string to be able to do our two-string looming. And what you'll need is something that is strong, because you're going to be putting some tension on this string, but it needs to be thin enough that it's going to fit through these little grooves at the top. So you don't want something too chunky like a t-shirt yarn or a macrame cord. I use our Ragged Life warp, which is 90% wool, 10% nylon, but cotton string, anything like that works very well. You're going to have two of these, which will go on the back of your two-string loom here. You can see here that if you just wanted to buy one warp, you can actually just string up some of the string onto two toilet rolls, and it's quite a nice way of making your warp go further. You don't need to worry about the colour of the warp itself, because it's going to be completely covered by all of your rags and will completely disappear in the end. But if you wanted to make life easier, you could choose one which will contrast against the rags, so you can see exactly what you're doing. The length of string that you need is just dictated by how long you want your garland to be. And it doesn't matter exactly how long you make them, because you can always tie bits of this shaggy garland together to increase the length. So you don't need to do sections all in one go. Fairly self-explanatory. I'm a rag rug maker, so we always do cutting up of old clothing, textile offcuts into the strips to be able to do our techniques. And you'll need a really good pair of fabric scissors in order to do this. We actually work with rag rug scissors because they allow you to cut through lots of layers of fabric. So they're almost the tank of the scissor world, which means lots of cutting and more time for rag rugging. The next little bit of specialist equipment is a bit more optional, but this is called a rag rug cutting gauge. Each of the pieces of fabric that are put onto our two-string loom have been cut to roughly 8 centimeters in length. To basically save time chopping all of these individually, we wrap long strips around the cutting gauge, cut down the groove at the top, and each of your pieces ends up the correct length for knotting onto the loom. Not a piece of equipment that you definitely need, but definitely very useful for time saving. And the final bit of equipment that you'll need is the rags themselves. So I've chopped up a few different greens here because I'm probably going to be making another one of my Christmas trees. As long as you can cut it into strips and it's not too thick and not too stiff, you can work with it on the two-string loom. So you can see in this little garland here, I've got everything from t-shirt material, cotton, voile, netting, ribbon. This is basically all offcuts from sewing projects, so I wasn't discerning. As long as it can be cut into strips, it's pretty much fair game to work with on the two-string loom. So in a little bit, I'll be demoing exactly how you prepare the materials. But first of all, I'm going to start off by showing you how to warp up the loom itself. So you can see in this example here that I've set up, we're trying to get our strings so that they are nice and taut and tied around the front dowel. And this one here is empty. So the first thing that I do is I just find the ends of my strings and I pull them through to the front of the loom so that I've got at least 30 centimetres of extra string in front of the dowel at the front. I then tie off those two strings in a knot at the front, and you're trying to get the knot so that it sits exactly at the front of the dowel itself. There you go, that's how that works. This bit here is just a bit of emergency fund, and it also allows you to knot off bits of garland to other bits of garland. Once you've got it knotted at the front, you want to take one of your strings, then the other string, and the two grooves that are in the centre of this vertical block of wood, you want to place the two strings so that they're in the corresponding slots, and you pull them down to the very bottom, and you're making sure that the knot that you've created is totally aligned at the front of the dowel. Once you've done that, you want to wind the string into the second slot along, then the third slot along. And it's a bit like you're serpentining in a kind of S shape. And you do that for both of your strings. And you want to just make sure that, as I said, that knot at the top is aligned centrally. Then if you just left the strings like this, so they're just kind of through the middle ones, back through the second ones and back to the back in the third ones, the strings won't be tight enough and they won't be secure. So you then need to wrap the strings back around one more time. And it doesn't matter exactly how you do this, but I basically just wrap it a couple of times and pull it down so that those strings definitely will not slip. Because as we said, we're going to be knotting things onto here and we want to make sure it's nice and taut. And then just to keep things all nice and neat, I'll just place my strings onto those two dowels at the back and I am ready to rock. If your strings were a little bit loose, like my ones are here, if you knot the strings higher up the dowel, so you can see that I kind of wanted to knot up here, when you push the strings down the dowel, whoops, I've just put that on the wrong direction. When you push things down the dowel, it basically tightens up the strings to make it a bit more taut, which is exactly what we want for knotting the fabric strips onto the strings. So that's basically my loom all set up. And now I'm just going to show you how you go about preparing a little bit of fabric to do this technique. So I've already got some strips in here, which I've cut to about 8 centimetres in length roughly. The precise length doesn't matter because you can always trim the fabric strips on the garland itself. And here I've got a little bit of a remnant piece of fabric from another bit of crafting I was doing. So the first thing that I do is I identify the longest length of the bit of the fabric. So it's from here to here. Then I fold the bit of fabric in half, fold it in half the same direction again, the same direction again, until I've got a tube of fabric. It doesn't have to be a very neat tube, that I'm happy that I'll still be able to get my scissors through. So nothing too thick. If you're doing denim, you may only be able to fold it maybe, I don't know, 3 times. Then the width that you cut at the strips is quite important, because if you cut them too wide, they're going to be very, very difficult to knot onto the strips. So I think that strips for this particular technique need to be between 1 and 2 centimetres in width. So I'm just cutting through this, almost like if you visualised cutting through a Swiss roll. And by cutting through the tube at the same time, I create strips of fabric that when they're unfurled are the correct width and also nice and long. And these are perfect for using on the rag rug cutting gauge because I'm going to have to cut them to about 8 centimeters in length. So at this stage, what I'm doing is I'm just getting normally around 6 strips or sometimes 8. It depends how thick your fabric is. And I'm aligning them so that the tops are together and they're all just dangling and living their best lives. Then I take my rag rug cutting gauge, place the ends of the strips so that they align with the groove here, and then I wrap my fabric strips around the gauge until I end up with them all wrapped securely around the block. Then you cut down the groove at the top of the gauge, like so, and you end up with a nice pile of similar length pieces that are all around 8 centimeters for working with on the 2-string loom. So I'm going to add them to my little mix of fabric strips now. And these little bits here are where the fabric strips didn't reach all the way around the gauge. Those you can just discard. But now I'm going to show you how to work on the loom itself. And in order to do this, you turn the loom around and you work with it towards your body. What will happen will be that the fabric strips will build up along the strings of the 2-string loom. You take one of your pre-cut strips, and it could be something like this that is a bit thinner, it could be a little bit wider, or it could be a bit chunkier. It doesn't matter what you work with. You place the strip flat onto the 2 strings so that you've got half of the strip on the right of the strings, half on the left. Then you take the 2 ends of the fabric strip between the strings and pull them towards your body. And that's it. Rinse and repeat. You take the fabric strip, you place it onto the 2 strings, then you bring the 2 tails of the fabric strip between the 2 strings towards your body. You pull it, I often push these strings down just to tighten them a little, and then I bring it towards me. That is all there is to this technique. You just keep working 1 strip at a time. It doesn't really matter in terms of what the design is. I normally like to create quite a lot of variety because that means if I'm doing a larger project, if I swap from one colour scheme to another, it doesn't end up looking very obvious. But the main thing is that you're trying to make sure that they're pulled nice and taut and the knots are very, very tight. If at any stage you feel like your strings are a little bit kind of not quite tight enough, you can basically lift up the strings off the dowel. So you can see I'm doing that now. You can bring a little bit of the fabric to the back of the dowel, place the 2 strings over the dowel again, and it basically helps to tighten up those 2 strings. As you build up the 2-string looming, you'll get closer and closer to the top of the loom itself. It doesn't really matter how far up you go, but you never go right up to the very top because the strings start to get a little bit further from one another. So it becomes a little bit harder to do when the strings are further apart. What you'll find is that you want to be building up the 2-string looming up the 2 strings, and then eventually, once you've built up enough of it, you're going to be transferring all of the garland that you've created from these bits between the dowel and the vertical part of the 2-string loom, and you'll be bringing them in front of the dowel. And I'm just going to speed up a little bit of the footage until I've got a little bit more of this 2-string looming so you can see it build up, and then I'm going to show you how to transfer all of the 2-string looming off the loom itself in front of the dowel. Now that I've built up roughly kind of like a third of the way up the strings, or roughly about half, what I can do is I can transfer all of the 2-string looming that I've done here off these strings here into the front of the 2-string loom. So I'll be bringing all of it in front of the dowel. And it feels kind of quite scary, but what you have to do is you have to undo the strings at the back so that you've got them a little bit looser. But ideally, try and keep the 2 strings within the grooves in the middle of the 2 string loom. Then you lift, oops, she says, don't lift the whole dowel out, just lift the 2 string looming off. And then you bring it up to where the dowel is. And you just place all of the 2 string looming so that it's sitting in front of the dowel rather than behind it. And this is kind of how it'll all build up. And then all you need to do is re-string up and tighten your strings again. So you do that in exactly the same way that we did at the beginning. So threading it through in a kind of S configuration. Once it's there and both of the sides of the strings are in position, you want to just tighten them up so that the knot is definitely in the middle. Once again, if you bring it higher and tighten it, it means you can always bring the 2 string looming down the peg to tighten things up. Then you will basically just wrap those strings once again around those grooves to make sure that the strings won't slip. So this kind of extra securing part is just to make sure that things are all nicely secured. And now what I've got is my tail is starting to build up quite curly in front of the dowel, and I'm ready to create more 2 string looming. So I will basically just start again, indiscriminately pulling these bits of fabric onto the strings and building up more of it. You can keep going as long as you want, and the bit of 2 string looming will just build up off the front of the loom itself. I'm just going to show you how you tighten up the strings again. So you take the 2 strings off the dowel, bring it to the front and push it over the top of the dowel, like so. When you're ready to finish your garland, it is as simple as taking it off the 2 strings, cutting the 2 strings. I normally leave a little bit of tail so I can attach bits of 2 string looming together, and then knotting things off nice and securely. And that is a tiny, tiny little bit of an example of 2 string looming. And if I wanted to attach that bit of 2 string looming to another bit of 2 string looming, I would tie those bits of string to another end of my 2 string looming, and that knot becomes practically invisible, so you won't be able to see that at all once you've cut them off and secured them. And that is 2 string looming in a nutshell. So that's been 2 string looming. I hope you found this tutorial really useful. Please do hit subscribe, like the video, and tag us in any of your projects that you do make. We love to see what you've made. But I've been Elspeth, and you can find all of the tools you've seen in this video at www.raggedlife.com. So happy rag rugging!